If you're not listening to the Smoke World podcast, you're wasting your time, you mortal.
What's up, folks? Welcome to another episode of Smoke World. I'm your host, Stone. So go grab that stick. Go grab a glass, whatever you're drinking. Let's sit back and have that conversation. You can follow me on Instagram at Smoke World Podcast. The email, Stone at SmokeWorldPodcast.com. And the website, SmokeWorldPodcast.com. Happy Memorial Day, everyone. Memorial Day weekend. For those who have served, thank you for your service. We appreciate your hard work and dedication. All right, folks, so this episode is a very short, quick conversation. Part 2 is coming. Richard Wicker. We have him, 94-year-old cigar smoker, hangs out at the lounge, funny as hell. Flies off the handle with the language. So if you're sensitive to the language, this might not be for you. So it's very quick. Again, he had to go based on some other obligations. So I wanted to introduce you to him. But part 2 will be much better. A longer conversation. Sit back, relax, and have some laughs on Mr. Richard. All right, Mr. Richard, we thank you for being a guest here on Smoke World. So we'll start here. So I'm normally not a person who asks their age, but you look a little senior, and forgive me for saying so because it looks like you had a rough paper route.
Whoa, wait a minute.
When you were growing up. So we will start there. How long have you been smoking what we call the love of the leaf, my brother?
Excuse me. First of all, I think that was very disrespectful the way you introduced me. It looked like I had a rough fucking paper route. What the fuck does that mean?
Well, I didn't want you to take anything personal about it.
I want to be a guest on your show and be respectful.
Okay, appreciate you.
But you introduced me as a person. I am senior. For your business, I'm 94 fucking years old.
God bless you. Nice.
I'm an old fucker.
Okay.
And I don't give a fuck who don't like my language on your podcast.
Wow.
But I've been smoking since I was 15 fucking years old.
Okay,
man.
First of all, I meant no disrespect in the way I introduced you.
Well,
again, we have a rapport. We sit at the lounge. We smoke. We do what I think.
Right.
So, again, if I offended you, my apologies.
No, you ain't offended
So you've been
me.
smoking for a long time, brother.
Okay.
So you've been through some things and you've seen some things in your life because of your age. So I can see this podcast is going to be a very interesting one. So if you're sensitive, folks, this is not the one for you.
First of all, again, I talk to you this way because I've known you for a few years before you started the podcast, if I'm correct. So I've been seen around this area for some time. And it always amazes me that people are surprised that I've been smoking for this long. But I've been doing this for a long time, and I'm still here. I don't expect to be here for a longer period of time, but I do what I do, so I'm not really sure what you really want me to tell you about everything I do.
Okay, first of all, let's start here. We're going to start, where did you grow up at? And how was that atmosphere at that point in time growing up where you grew up at?
Yeah, I grew up in Aiken, South Carolina. About fucking 60 miles away from Columbia. And when I was growing up, this is early time, 2030s, and it was a different type of scenario. there was a lot of racism because I was black, and there was more of a dominance of the white people telling the black folks what to do. That didn't change too much, and in my opinion, I see today. But I grew up on a small farm with my grandmother. My father was a sharecropper, and my grandmother was a person who pretty much did everything around the house. My mother had got sick at a young age, and she unfortunately had passed away at a young age. So, as a kid, I did a lot of farming, and we grew a lot of crop. We had a small place, and we just did so many things. I didn't have any siblings. Wasn't fortunate to have any siblings, but nonetheless, that's where I'm from, and I migrated up to the north back in 65 or 66. I came up to Philadelphia in search of family members on my father and my grandmother's side.
Okay, so you come to Philadelphia back in the 60s. So, again, that had to be an interesting setup. You coming from the South and moving to a city. So now you're in Philadelphia. So it's my understanding that you ran into a situation, or I'm just going to say it, you were arrested in the late 60s for, well, I'll let you tell the story. Once you share that.
Yeah, now, since you brought it the fuck up, I mentioned it, god damn. That ain't for everybody. But yeah, in 68, I was down on 22nd in Columbia. That's in North Philly. And I'm at the bar. And I frequent this bar on the regular, 'cause back then you could smoke your cigar inside the bar. Now everything is sensitive where everybody don't allow you to smoke no fucking nowhere. But that ain't the goddamn point. I'm in this bar, and it's me, a cat named Dow, and we call another cat Cece. Now, Cece, he was a good fella, but he get drunk and he start talking shit. Now, this is what we do on the regular. So, Cece drunk as shit, and I'm feeling pretty good, too. I ain't gonna lie about it. Cece run off at the mouth and start saying some old reckless shit. Pissed me the fuck off. I hauled off and knocked the fuck out of Cece. Knocked two of his front fucking teeth right out of his fucking face. Excuse me. And goddamn if that Diane, the bartender, gonna call the fucking cops. Now she know we was friends. She called the cops and we ain't know, we went right back to drinking. That's what we did. So I'm sitting there relaxing, smoking on a good cigar. And the fucking cops come in there. They grab me and Cece, throw us on the ground, and put our faces on that goddamn floor and locked us the fuck up for some bullshit. But that was a long time ago. And I ain't been in a fight since then. But I don't really know if that really considered, because I didn't do no jail time. I don't even know why you mentioned this on this. This I'm not sharing with you. at the lounge. So I can see everything I done talked to you about the lounge you gonna put on the public.
No.
Damn.
No. First of all, it's not like that. You have some of the most amazing stories, and you have everyone intrigued, encircled around you when you tell your stories. I'm just telling you that your stories are very intriguing. You captured the audience because you can't tell me that every time you tell a story, we all not looking at you dead in the eyes, laughing our asses off, like, yo, is this real? That's what I'm saying. So I just wanted you to come on the podcast.
Yeah.
I know you say it wasn't good. This is not your thing. You didn't even know what a podcast was
Not
until
at
I told you. And that's cool because, again, they didn't have none of that. This is fairly new, and I understand that. But listen, I appreciate you coming on just to share a little bit of your story because, again, this will be infinite. Once this podcast gets dropped, it's out there forever. So, God forbid something happened to me, you, or anybody else.
Right.
We have you on a digital footprint.
Well,
That's all I'm saying.
I don't really know what that means. A digital footprint. What does that mean? But I got to take a piss. Number one. I'm sorry. I wasn't probably supposed to say that. Excuse me, but I'm just telling you the truth, man. I tell you, I wasn't gonna be here on there long. I will probably catch you at the lounge.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
And,
definitely.
it was good and fun talking on these microphones, but I really didn't know what you wanted me to say. So I think, as we spoke off the microphones,
Right.
that we would get back together again.
Definitely, we will do that.
I apologize because I told
You don't
I
have to
had an appointment
apologize.
to make too.
I'm
So I'm
sorry,
sorry. So I could come back again when my time is a little more flexible. So, but if we can rearrange that, and I'll see you at the lounge if you don't
Well,
mind.
first of all, thank you.
Yeah,
Okay.
no problem.
Brother Richard, we thank you for being a guest on Smoke World.
Yeah.
So, listen, folks, I know it's cut short. You're probably thinking, why did you even air this? Because I wanted you to get a sample of what is to come. Stanley is 94 years old. He's been smoking cigars since he's been like 15. So, this is the first piece. This is the introduction. So, with that being the case, I'm going to stop it right here. And we will get Mr. Stanley to come back, sit down for some length of time. I'm telling you, folks, he's a funny dude. He's got story for days. So, with that being the case, I'm dropping it right here. Smoke World Podcast on IG. Email stone@smokeworldpodcast.com. And the website, smokeworldpodcast.com. Check it out. I appreciate you listening. Stanley the man, 94 years old, still smoking strong. We love you, brother. Peace.